I've just done it. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. Hello, welcome. I'm Anthony Mackem. This is the Mackem Football Show. We have three lovely people with me this fine evening. You've got
lovely is a strong word.
It is a strong word. You're right. Starting off with David. Hello.
Hi. Hello, sir.
Hello. Good day. We have Paul Wilson below. Hello.
Good evening, Nance.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to be on mute for about 10 seconds there. Good evening, mate. And then in the opposite corner, just down here, is Jacob, a.k.a. Yorkshire Mackem. Hello.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Come on, ça va. It's comment ça va. Good attempt.
Who's ça va, and why are you coming on them?
Whoa. I see how this one's going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, we have a game coming up this weekend, haven't we? The proper football is back. The international break is done and dusted. Can I ask you all, did you enjoy the international break? And if so, why?
No. It's a waste of my goddamn time.
And England were just dire.
The World Cup is different because it's the World Cup, but anything other than the World Cup, I don't really see the point in. Like,
what about
why?
You don't like the Euros?
No, I think it's pointless. Why take away teams from their like professional teams for 2 weeks to play like 1 or 2 games where they could possibly get injured and screw their clubs up, which has happened.
It has happened, and it has been a career ender for a couple of people as well, hasn't it?
Yep. I mean, look at I know he's not a Sunderland player, but Robertson from Liverpool currently out with a dislocated shoulder. He's not due to be back until I don't know. I don't think there's a date, but he's been out for a month now.
Do you know what's even funnier though? They didn't qualify.
No, I know.
Is that Wales?
So he's been taken out of our club for no reason. It's stupid. I hate internationals, man.
I mean, he give them a better shot by doing that. I get it, but like, watch it. Like, obviously, we're mainly England fans here. There'll be a couple of other fans that listen to the podcast and tune in, but they will. It's very unlikely we're going to have somebody who's enjoyed that international break. Anybody in the British Isles, they had a mediocre at best international break this time round, and it's the third of 4 during the season. So when you said that I've taken them out for 2 weeks, it's actually 8 weeks per campaign, and the wonder why there's a congestion fixture problem.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it's again, the title of this podcast is, by the way, Momentum, and it just ruined it for a lot of clubs.
You imagine you're on like your team's won the last 3 games before international break. Your players don't get to rest; they have to go to different countries where they can get jet lag, so it just makes them more tired. Mm-hmm. They then have to train, which they would be doing at a club. They wouldn't have to they wouldn't have to travel to literal different countries. Then they have to risk playing, which is stupid, and then they got to fly all the way back, and then they got to go against proper teams for proper titles instead of stupid national trophies that no one gives a damn about. I mean, and it's just, what's the point?
I mean, I think we're all in a similar ethos here on this part. I know there will be some people who absolutely only take care when it's like, I only like football when it's England because it's my country. I mean, I get those people, but like the whole
England suck.
It's kind of like America with the World Series, and it's literally only American teams in it. It's just like
you get other tournaments as well. You get like a tournament for Asian countries, and of course you get the African Cup of Nations as well.
Yeah, but like the international breaks are at the same time. So if it is somebody who plays for the Ivory Coast, i.e. Ahmad, he would go out to that, or
vice versa. We got Mo Salah going off to AFCON for, I think it's 8 weeks, 7 weeks, I think, in January.
Yeah.
So we're losing one of our players for 6 weeks. For what? For what? Like, come on, man. But this is whilst the Premier League is going, by the way. So the Premier League games will still be going on, and we're losing one of our best players because of this stupid tournament that no one cares about.
Well, he will, because obviously he's representing his country.
I don't think he wants to go.
I don't think the chances of... Oh, what on earth is happening with my camera?
It's frozen for me.
It's frozen for me too. The whole, like, Africa Cup of Nations international break is just... It's... What's it called? A contradictory? Because, obviously... If it pauses for our teams like the England players and Irish and Scottish, why wouldn't it also apply to the Egyptian players, the Moroccans? Like, it doesn't make sense. So if you're going to have an international break when there's an international tournament, that makes sense to me. But I just think the club football and international football should be just done in two separate waves.
Yes, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Oh, lucky.
Jim's here. You've got a really good point if you want to...
Yeah, go on.
He goes, I agree with Arsene Wenger's stance. It's like they steal your car, leave it crashed in the field without any petrol in the tank, and you have to repair it. And then 8 weeks later, they steal it again. This camera, I'm going to turn this camera off.
Your camera's working.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off because I think I need to refresh my computer a little bit. So the people who are watching can enjoy my lovely logo for a little bit.
I actually wonder what the percentage would be of England fans. Like, how many would think are confident about the Euros and how many are not confident, for England?
I mean, I'm only as confident as Harry Kane's fitness, to be honest. Without Harry Kane, we would struggle.
Go on.
I'm just thinking that who have we got to line up and replace him? Sterling's out of favour now.
Yeah, that's gone past his prime.
We have got Saka. We've still got Saka. I know he's young still, but Saka.
He can't replace Keane though. He's a winger.
Yeah. Also, Jim's bullying me now. Says it's a big improvement losing the camera.
I got roasted. That's bad.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I generally think without Harry Kane, we don't qualify for the World Cup. We don't qualify for Euros.
Mm-hmm. And there's nobody. There's nobody who to replace him, is there?
Our squad is just so. It's not good.
In the Premier League,
it's just not.
In the Premier League, who is the best English striker? Obviously, the best striker right now is. The best striker is Haaland. I think that's absolutely no doubt about it.
Yeah, but he's not.
He's not English.
He faked his injury, by the way, and that I want to call Man City out, but no one's gonna care.
What injury?
They took 7 of their players out for injury over the international break. Some of them had to play internationals, and they've all miraculously recovered in time to play Liverpool tomorrow.
Well, you can
every single one of them.
Where you can have a muscle injury, can't you, from overexerting yourself in training?
Bollocks.
They're protecting them.
I don't know. Striker wise, I'm not entirely sure. I generally don't think there is. I think Harry Kane's our best one.
And he's gone to the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna say, "Oh, Marcus Rashford." No, Marcus Rashford is terrible.
But he's not even.
He's insanely overrated.
He's not in favour.
Are you only saying that because he's a Man United player, Dad?
No, I'm saying it because he's trash. He's way more popular than he should be. If bloody
he's a good person though, mate. Like
he's a good person. Yeah. He's just a trash footballer.
Yeah.
People are telling, like, last season, people was like, "Oh, he's having his best season," and then you compare him to the likes of
Nunes
or Diaz or Salah, and it's just like everyone's saying they're washed, they need to retire, and he's like, they're in their worst season, they're still doing a lot better than Marcus Rashford in his best.
Son's a good player.
Come on, man.
Son's
brilliant. Yeah, I would take Son over Marcus Rashford
any day or every day.
Like any day. If I had to choose, if I was like a team owner, and I had to pick between Marcus Rashford and Son, I would choose Son.
That's
I think
interesting.
didn't he accidentally, by the way, break a player's leg or something like that?
Son.
I don't know.
Was
I
that
don't
Son?
know.
Oh, it was. Oh.
Yeah.
I
swear
think
there was
he
a time
did.
where-
I think you're right. Hang on.
Yeah, I think he did. Because he looked absolutely devastated by it, didn't he?
Yeah, bless him. And that shows that he's.
Was it a leg or an arm?
It was a leg. It was a full-on leg break. I remember.
Oh, it was a broken
hearing
ankle. Yeah. 2019.
He's like
He broke down in tears.
His foot just went the other way.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Andre
graphic.
Gomez.
What's happened to him since? Has he come back? Was it that the career? Was that a career
I think
ender?
that's probably yeah.
It'll be. It's normally a career ender.
Portuguese current team. Oh no, he's playing for Everton.
Oh, that's why they're struggling then.
Mr. Floppy Ankle.
Oh,
Got to be protective around it.
I
Right.
think we should move on now, shouldn't we?
No, we shouldn't move on because Paul has been absolutely silent on how he enjoyed his international break, and I want to find out. Paul?
This is where he just mutes.
In a way, I'm actually pleased it's over.
I think we all are. Yep.
It's just because, well, Mowbray explained in his press conference yesterday that Joby
Yeah.
actually didn't go to England.
No, I noticed that.
He
I
wasn't
know his
actually
brother's-
in the squad because apparently Mowbray said that he actually had a conversation with England because Job's actually been playing a lot of games. So Mowbray actually didn't want Job to travel
Okay.
and actually give him a rest.
Yeah, which I
over the
think
international
everyone
break.
should.
So I'm
Yeah.
actually pleased the international break is actually over at last.
Yeah. It's.
I've heard his brother's just signed a deal with some modelling thing, and I've just seen it on Instagram. His job was with Jude. So,
Hey, Jude.
Mate, Jude Bellingham is he's just living the perfect life at the minute. His football career is popping off. His personal life's popping off. He's just as you said, he signed a modelling contract. Man's probably living such a high right now.
imagine if this happens when someone get to the Prem.
Right.
Jude comes back to the Premier League as well. Signs for Sunderland, and we've also still got Job in the team. Imagine how both.
You all living in a dreamland, aren't you?
You would not be able to afford his weekly wage.
I think
you'd be lucky to lick him, let alone afford him.
We'd have to get some financial fair play rules where every player is free.
You'd have to sell your entire squad to fund him.
I mean, that is a good dreamland. Or he could be 37, so it can happen. It just has to be well off into the future. That would be a good time with both the brothers at one club. It doesn't even matter if it's at us. Like those two playing together, I think could absolutely smash the entire.
Or have them both in the England team. They could both be in the England team, couldn't they? In that midfield area.
I think Job needs a little bit more international experience before he goes into the first.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's only a year younger than his brother though, so I know it's.
I know, but
it's awful to
international
compare
wise, he's
against-
not had any.
Oh, he's had games. But
How
yeah,
old's Jude?
I think he needs more.
How old's Jude again? Is he 20 or
he's
19?
20. Jude is 20, and Job has
Jude Bellingham is 20.
just turned 18.
Oh my god, he is. What? Right, this is.
he's living his
I
best
don't know
life.
who I said this to. Football players look old, so much older than they actually are.
No, I think it's a little bit different with the Bellinghams because they're from Birmingham. It's a rough upbringing. Sorry, Birmingham. It is just a little bit. You've got to age very fast in Birmingham. Like if
Rashford would have been a great player if he started at Liverpool.
Disagree.
I mean,
I think he would have been exactly like Sturridge.
The thing. I apologise. I'm going to talk about Liverpool on a Sunderland channel. You can hang me later. But
where's the mute button?
We'll just throw a beach ball at him. Throw a beach ball at him.
Go on then. Go on. We're talking about international football.
Klopp has a history of throwing out players who have attitude issues.
Do you think Rashford has one?
And I don't think Rashford would last a month.
Interesting
I
take.
disagree with that. I don't. I think.
And also, I'd take both Jota and Diaz over Rashford.
Yeah, I don't think
Current,
Rashford does have an
yes.
attitude problem.
Oh, he does.
Oh, he 100% does.
He does.
He has an ego issue.
I don't think it's that. I think he puts himself in the firing line based on him thinking he's doing the right thing, and that is to his applaud and to his detriment. Like, you can fight the good fight, but he doesn't fight the good fight in the right way sometimes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he'll flag up something he doesn't like about training, and that'll piss off the manager because it's his training session, he's running the club, and then all of a sudden it's interjected. So he does have an attitude problem, but I think he's very smart with it as well. So yeah, I kind of get David's point with that. It makes sense. Abby's arrived. Hello.
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 How are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. We're just talking about how much we enjoy the international break, and we went on a little bit of tangent about Rashford and his attitude. So, how did you enjoy your international break?
I slept right through it.
That's the only response we like to hear.
So did you watch the England games as well, Cabby?
I did, but they were dead rubbers. I wasn't expecting anything else, to be honest with you.
It was...
Well, it's Gareth Southgate. He's a boring manager. That's how it is.
What was the score? It was 2-0 against San Marino. Malta. And North Macedonia.
1-1.
So
That's not good enough.
I mean, it's okay considering we already qualified before both of those games took place. So I get why Southgate chose maybe a development side. Put a couple of players who were on the fringe of becoming a first-team England player. It was their time to shine, and they did not. Not many players in that squad.
I think they had the mentality of, we've already qualified, let's not.
Let's not risk it.
Well, I think they should have still gone out and thought, even though we've qualified, let's still get a nice, comfortable win.
Disrespect.
To whom?
I find it really disrespectful to North Macedonia. To be like, we've already qualified, we're not going to try against you.
Well, North Macedonia kind of shut us up when they went ahead.
Yeah, and we deserved it.
It felt like that game felt like Iceland 2.0.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I bet North Macedonia fans didn't give a crap when we got the equaliser. They were like, we don't care. It's still a good result. 1-1 against England.
It's all right, but like it is what it is. I don't know. I just think we should be playing more like France did against Gibraltar than the way we did.
14-0, yes.
Yeah, just...
I said to you going into the game when we were watching it, I was like, we should be smashing North Macedonia.
We should be embarrassing them. We should be frustrating them. But it's just like we sent out our kids, and it felt like
it's like we're playing Sunday League.
Yeah. It just didn't feel like an international game, and that's the problem for me with these international breaks. You're taking out players and you're cutting out 3 leagues of football for that. Like, I get it. Like, some players are going to be for Northern Ireland. By the way, Trey Hume had an absolutely wonderful time, but so did Huggins. There was like a couple of Sunderland players who had a good international break, maybe not got the results that they wanted, but it's like, for the sake of 2 of our players, we could have played Rotherham, we could have played Plymouth, we could have played anybody who hasn't sent out many players and just continued our season. We could have caught up on games that if there's like a congestion and we've missed one for weather or whatever. Like, why aren't we as clubs allowed to use that international break as an opportunity to like get ahead of the league, get 3 points on the board, or at least play more games when we feel fit and ready to, rather than now, before the end of the year, we have I think it's 10 or 11 games ahead of us. 9. No, it's 10 because we've got one this weekend.
Yes.
We've got 2 more in November. Bear in mind, there's only 6 days left in November, and then we've got I think it's either 8 or 9 in December itself. So it's like we've went from 2 weeks without anything to like 1 every other 4 days for the rest of the year.
You're just going to exhaust yourselves.
So we will drop points because of that, but we could have played 2 fixtures in that break if we really needed to.
Ease up the load a bit.
Oh, I sound so much different with my earphones in and out. That's really weird.
Anyway, I think we should move on from international, shouldn't we? Just
Yeah. We've had a good chat about it. We've had a good chat about it.
We'll just end up ranting about England, won't we?
Yeah.
Let's not waste our breath on Gareth Southgate and shit. Just pees me off talking about it.
There you go. We'll add one last point because alt endings popped into the chat. Welcome along, mate. It's nice to see some fellow Sunderland content creators pop in. Huggins had a waste of an international break. He sat on the bench for both games, never played a minute, but he did get to travel. He did get to change up his routine because everybody else who stayed with Sunderland and trained, he had a bit of a holiday, but he also
had a holiday.
He got to wear his strip for his home nation, didn't he?
Yeah, but
say that, can't it?
But I'm more thinking of it like, yeah, it's obviously like getting selected in the squad and coming off the bench and all of that. But like, you learn more from the skill around you. If you're introducing yourself into like international level players, some of the Ireland team are in the Premier League. They're in the top flight division. They're the best place to learn from. So it's like, yeah. I mean, it's good. Thank you, Jim. Jim is basically forcing us onto here. War a new strip. So yeah, international break is done and dusted. I think we've got a good game ahead of us this weekend. I'm optimistic. What are your chances, or what are your thoughts around our Plymouth away trip? I think the lads are already down there, by the way. I saw a post somewhere, or I think it was on X earlier on, like the lads are already arrived at the south coast. So
yeah, they flew down this afternoon.
Yeah. So they're there. They're having a kip at the hotel. They'll be there with plenty of time. No worries about what's it called? Sorry, I'm watching the Rotherham and Leeds game as we speak. It's in the 68th minute, and Rotherham were just about to counter attack there. Yes. What are you thinking about the Plymouth game?
I'm gonna be controversial. I think you're gonna struggle.
Why? Because we've had a 2-week break?
1, because you've had a 2-week break. 2, I think as a team you haven't quite got synergy yet.
Fair point.
I think you're very defensively vulnerable.
See, I disagree with the last point. Compared to last season, we are defensively better off.
Compared to last season, your defense is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still quite a lot of weaknesses in it that I've seen from watching your games, and it's concerning.
Well, when we're winning 3-1. We're winning 3-1.
Yeah, I was talking to Jacob about it actually before you lot. That's one of the things he brought. I was like, when you win good.
Mm-hmm.
I could be completely wrong, but my gut is telling me you're gonna struggle.
The only 2 games we've won without conceding are a 2-0 win and a 5-0. The 5-0 against Southampton. But those 2 teams were not great on the day. It was Watford with a 2-0 and the Southampton with a 5-0. So we are winning good against teams that are like completely out of form. When we're playing somebody who's like okay, but we should be beating them, we always seem to concede. So I get your point there. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Paul, what's your thoughts? Because I get where David's coming from on that one.
In a way, it's the same here, because what Tony Mowbray was saying,
Mm.
fair enough, there was reports that Ballard actually, that the Ireland manager was saying that Ballard actually picked up an injury
Mm-hmm.
in international duty, but Tony Mowbray said that Ballard came back early, actually, before Huggins.
Right.
And Tony Mowbray said Ballard is actually trained, but he's going to keep an eye on him.
Right.
So, you know, if he's injured, probably Jensen Selt will go straight in alongside
Ballard.
Luke O'Nien,
Luke
which
O'Nien,
is
okay.
available.
Okay, so I like that I like that we are able to adapt our centre backs now. I think as soon as we get the definitive centre back partnership, which I do feel is Luke O'Nien and Ballard, by the way, it was a forced change against Birmingham, and the two lads, Triantis and Sealed, held their run for the most part. Sloppy goal to concede, but I think that was Ekwa's mistakes. So there's a shout. If Luke O'Nien's like wanting a week off or we want to rotate it, we can now. I think we're comfortable with Sealt and Triantis being a partnership and Luke O'Nien and Ballard being a partnership that we can swap between weekend, weekday. If they want to do that, that's an option for us. So sorry, Cabby, go for it.
Hello.
Go for it.
I think it'll be a struggle. I think Plymouth will be up for it. You know, the team that's just come up, and I don't know. I just think it's going to be a scrappy game, and that Sunderland will struggle against scrappy teams. I've got a funny feeling Plymouth will get a goal, and they'll defend, and they'll they'll get a sneaky 1-0 win, I think.
Okay, so it's a snatch and grab at home for the Pilgrims. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, Pilgrims, that's the name.
Yeah.
I don't know what you just think. We'll be knocked up our stride a little bit, and I just think they'll be well up for Sunderland. They'll raise the game.
Yeah. Okay, I can see a lot of teams in this league raising the game for us. Where I'll let Jacob, you go, then I'll have my lovely rant at the end. Dean, welcome along. A high scoring game, another 4-4, like the whole game towards the end of last season. Maybe Dean, maybe. Jacob,
I think we'll still win. I do think we'll win, but I still think it'd be a scrappy win for Sunderland. More so, it's not an easy place to go, is Plymouth. One, because of the journey wise and the effect it has on the team, and just them as a team. I think they are quite a team that are part of the bus. You know, once they get a goal there, will make it frustrating.
It doesn't say though.
Make it frustrating for their opponents by defending well.
So, okay,
that's my opinion on it.
Okay, I'm going to be contrarian to you guys here. I do not think that that's the case at all. I'm just for the benefit of people watching on the podcast, I've put the league table there, just in the middle of the screen, so you can see it. Plymouth are currently sat in 19th. They've scored 27 and they've conceded 27 in their 16 games. The park the bus mentality that you've mentioned there, Jacob, I don't think they do. They've not done all season. They are a threat going forward, and they are leaky at the back. I don't know if it's different between their home and away games, but looking at the last 5 games on highlights, they are open games. They very rarely sit back for the entire 90. They had one of those games where they did just counter most of the time, but they do like to free flow it and move it through the middle of the park more than going out on the wings. So for me, it's who controls this game the most in the middle of the park. I think if we go out to the wings, Clark and Roberts, they're most likely to start. I think if they have a good game, we're having a good game. If Clark and Roberts have a terrible game, it could be very, very tight. So I'm confident we're gonna win this one. I've gone with a 3-1 win, but if they turn up and they put in a performance like Cardiff did against us, or to be fair, any team that just parked the bus, Swansea was another one. Like, we will struggle against park the bus teams. So I get your point, but I don't think this Plymouth side are set up to do that. Or if they are, they're not set up to do that consistently. So I'm confident. I know I'm in the minority here, but yeah. What do you want to counter that?
Well, I'll just say my score prediction now. Actually, I know it's a bit early, but I'll say 2-1 Sunderland.
Okay.
I think 2-1 win for the lads.
Fair enough. 2-1's a good win. Cabby, what are you saying for the scoreline?
Don't be ridiculous, Cabby. Don't say ridiculous scoreline.
No, like I said before, I think it's going to be scrappy. Be a scrappy game, and Sunderland will struggle with that. They won't be able to get any rhythm. And I think it'll be just a scrapey 1-0 win to game Plymouth.
The Plymouth, okay. Paul, I'm just going forth.
I'm just thinking the pigeon kebab at the minute, so I've got my mouth full.
Oh.
Pigeon kebab. Is that, I didn't know that was real.
I've actually heard pigeon is actually quite good, so I'm not going to judge him too much for that.
I mean,
What does it
he
taste
hasn't
like?
took out the feathers, like, but yeah.
He's just eating roadkill on his way home from work.
It's a bit of taste, pigeon.
I mean, I don't want to talk about Cabby's food ever again. I mean, did you see my tweet to you, mate?
Yeah, I saw your tweet. It was great.
I've got to interject before Paul gives his answer with his scoreline with a couple of the comments from Jim and alt ending. Plymouth won't sit back, which should suit us. We should be okay as long as we don't get a man sent off. Ugh. Yeah. the discipline of our team against referees. You can bring that into the conversation, Paul, because I know you know who our referee is on that. He's brought in that Ballymumba's been playing well for Plymouth. That's Dean saying that. And I have alt ending in my corner saying we'll be all right. So, Paul, what's your scoreline?
You know what? I'm going to go for a 1-1.
Okay, I take a point down there. I take a point down there. Why are you saying that, David?
I was going to go with a 1-1.
I mean, you're allowed to? You are allowed. Are you joining them in the 1-1 crew?
I'm joining the 1-1 crew.
Fair enough. That's good. Right. 3-1 for me, 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw, 1-0 loss, and a 2-1 win. So we're pretty much all over the place with the score. So like this game could go either way.
I've just got a feeling the way, because Ballymumba actually started he came from our academy, and you know he's coming up against us this weekend, and I can just see him scoring.
Sorry, how do you say the Leeds keeper's name, by the way? Melcia? He's just made an absolutely quality full body save in the 78th minute. Like, that should be going in, and he just spreads himself perfectly. That's a quality keeper.
Rotherham, isn't it? It's a good point for Rotherham if it stays the way it is.
If it stays 1-1, it's huge. But yeah, like
Leeds should be winning that. I'm sorry, Leeds should be fairly comfortably beating Rotherham, in my opinion. But anything can happen in the Championship.
It had to happen.
I just think these in the Championship. I mean, it is a league where anybody can beat anyone.
Unless you're Sheffield Wednesday, mate.
Well, yeah, we'll give them a wiper. I think. No, but I just think the majority of the big teams, how can I say it? It's the attitude. I think it's like, oh, it's only Rotherham. We'll be all right. And then they get hit with a sucker punch. I think that's a lot of that's got to do with it. Like, bigger teams like stuff don't really have the game as much as Rotherham are.
I'm going to bring up some sore memories here, but the way you phrased that literally brought me up to how every single Sunderland fan that I spoke to when we're in the first 2 seasons of League One, we're speaking about every one of our opponents. Like, if you come up against Accrington Stanley, oh, it's only Accrington, we should smash them. Oh, it's only Burton, we should smash them. It's like, if we should just smash them, then let's put it on the pitch.
We shouldn't, yeah. If we should be smashing every single opponent, we shouldn't be in this league.
And I think Leicester are like that right now, but then they'll get humbled. Like they got humbled by Hull, and I think Leeds was kind of on par with where they're at. But like, could you imagine Rotherham taking away 3 points against Leeds, and then like next week against Leicester? It's just
it'd be like Luton winning 4-0 against City.
Yes, exactly like that. You need to like respect the opponent in front of you, but also like kind of just play to your strengths. If your team is better on paper they should win. Like that's it. It's as simple as that. It's half about attitude and half about the decisions going your way. And I think that is a huge point to us. Who's our referee, Paul, tomorrow?
James
Is
Bell.
it John Bell? James Bell.
John Bell.
James Bell.
James
Yeah,
Bell.
because you said if he makes bad calls, you can call him Bellin.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be brought up.
What was that, Muffly Auto? Cabby?
Hello.
What did you say?
I was just waiting for somebody to say the end word there.
Yes. All Luton drawn with Liverpool, says Dean.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up.
Perfect.
Where's the ban button?
Where's the bitter taste? Oh, it's in your mouth. There you go.
Thing is, James Bell hasn't refed us this season. The only time he's refed us is in League One.
Yeah, and again, that was against Accrington Stanley, but wasn't that a draw?
That was
Yeah, under Lee Johnston.
So, I
was learning me for that.
you violated. The whole point is it should never matter who the referee is in a game, but it does. Like
But it does.
yeah, like I'd say 3 out of 5 games this season, the referee has impacted the game massively. There's a couple of games here where they're like, oh, the referee had an okay performance, the decisions were fair overall, the right players got carded. That seems to be too rare. So to Jim's point at the start, it does depend if we manage to keep all 10 men in this next match. And I can't see, on paper at least, why this referee would hinder the game. He is a League One referee, but I think that's to his strength. We've noticed the poor quality referees come from the top down, not the bottom up.
How many Sunderland fans going down?
I think it's 1,800. I'm not 100% sure. Does it make a difference?
Sold out, actually.
Yeah, it's sold out, but I think the allocation's 1.8.
Yeah, but one of my mates has actually gone down for the weekend.
What? To Plymouth?
Yeah. He's
Oh,
in the hotel and that.
Oh,
That's
He's
good
not
luck.
happy about that.
I mean,
Is he still on his way, Paul, or has he arrived?
He arrived yesterday.
who's your mate?
My mate Pete.
Pete. Okay. We'll look out for Pete. We'll look out for Pete on the cameras.
Oh, is that the mag?
No.
No.
No. No.
No, he's friends with Bowers, isn't he, Paul? I think he's friends with Bowers as well.
Yeah, Pete is.
Yeah, Pete. What is it? I know he's third,
Leeds almost scored.
Yeah, it was a whipped ball. The goalkeeper scrambling in the box, and yeah, it's 10 minutes away from a point shared between somebody in the very, very dying the props of the table versus somebody who's chasing the automatics. Jim says, by the way, for this Plymouth game, I'd say 2-1 to us. Plymouth are probably better than the results show, but we have better players in depth, so I'll be happy with any score win. Do you think there's a directive at the minute? Because I kind of feel like most of the games, with the extra time, that has massively dropped off from the first couple of games of the season. Like most games are now 6 to 7 minutes added on at the end of the game. When we were starting the season, that was 12 minutes, 14 minutes. And that was common. Now it's like 5, 6. It's trying to like revert back and cut it back again. What do you reckon that moment and that extra time that we are losing, do you think that's going to be a factor? Or like, would we, if we're 2-1 up and we're like, it's the 97th minute of 93, blow the whistle? Because that happens a lot, doesn't it? Especially in the Prem.
Yes. Yeah, it's terrible in the Prem. It'd be like, 3 minutes added on, and then you'd be in like 4 minutes plus whatever. And it's kind of like, well, why have you not blown the whistle yet?
No, we're just
And then,
waiting for a controversial decision at that point, aren't we? Luke
I see
jumping
it
on somebody's
a
back.
lot in City games.
Manchester City. in their favour or against them?
No, in their favour, where it's like whether they're drawing or behind a goal, it's almost like the referee's waiting for them to score before he's blowing the whistle. Like nothing could have happened in like the extra time, and then he'll leave it for a couple of minutes or like 30 seconds, and everyone's like, "Why are you not blowing the whistle? The game's over."
And then the player will get frustrated, make a foul, and it causes the free kick that scores.
And then so it's Do you
think that's a thing more in the Premier League than in the Championship, though?
Or is it just a football thing in general?
I think
the modern way.
I think it's more noticeable in the Prem because people are looking out for it, because the Premier League at the minute is just so bad in terms of officiating that people are looking for it.
Sure.
I think overall, I don't think the refereeing is great in English football in its entirety. Something needs to change. I don't see anything changing because I think the referees are protected more than the players are these days, which is stupid, but it is what it is.
It's true.
I always my understanding of what the referees were supposed to do growing up, playing football, watching football, was to protect the players. That is their number one. That is their number one responsibility. Second is sorry.
Call the match down the middle. Like no biases, just
that's a side effect. I think they should be unbiased in the games that they referee. That's a given. But I think like when they're actually doing the job, anything that impacts the safety of one of the people on the pitch, they are responsible for that player's safety. If they're allowing other players to kick their shins, cause injuries, that is not protecting the player.
It's like the Premier League. How many? I saw it on Twitter. Everyone was like, "Oh, there's injuries is not a problem in the Premier League," and then there's been like 197 injuries in the Premier League over the last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah. But we don't want to start talking about injuries here because we're still like half a squad down.
No.
Yeah.
Right. I want to not get through, but like do this relatively quickly. Would you want to do the score predictions for the games coming up this weekend then? Because we have two sets of games to talk about. We've got the Plymouth game.
Go for it.
But then we've also got the midweek game as well, and we will have
just looking at injuries.
We'll have done the live stream for the watch along for the game tomorrow, and then the live stream for the other watch along, and then the next podcast. So I kind of want to dedicate a little bit of time to.
A couple of leagues have just scored the jammy gets.
Wait, how far ahead are you?
And it's offside.
Oh, so they're not jamming then. Yeah. I'm on 88 minutes 57 on Now TV on the line. Like, what? They've got to score from an absolute worldie then because they're nowhere near the goal.
It's disallowed.
Oh, there you go. Right. I don't know how you managed to do it, but you're ruining games that I'm even half interested in. Stop being ahead of us. Tell us what time you're on. You've got the what's it called? The live feed. Oh, that was it. The fixtures. I need that one because it's the easiest one for me to see it. So Championship scores. So we've got obviously the Plymouth game. Then in the midweek, I think it's on the Wednesday evening, we're playing Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, we are.
So Huddersfield Town are playing Southampton this weekend, which I think they should be losing that. They're just outside of the relegation spot, so we're playing the 19th team and the 21st team. Do you think the narrative of the Plymouth game is going to be exactly the same as the narrative of the Huddersfield game?
I think
we'll have a more comfortable win against. I think we'll win against Huddersfield as well, but I think we'll be more comfortable against Huddersfield.
I don't think that is offside. I think Leeds have been robbed.
Possibly. I haven't seen it because I was looking up at the table. So
they're trying to call offside on the player in the middle, but I don't think he touched the ball.
Does he interact with player?
He's in the middle. It goes through him.
That's a good excuse. So I kind of feel like with Huddersfield, the game on Tuesday, that is a game that we should 100% be winning. Alt's saying 2 wins as well. So, like, with Huddersfield, they are struggling to score. They are a team that is highly likely to park the bus. That, for me, is more scary than this Plymouth team. So I'm just going to... Can somebody let me know when Abby's sorted, if that's okay? Thank you. Right. Paul, Huddersfield Town on Tuesday. What's your thoughts on that one before we go into predictions?
For me, it'll be interesting because Darren Mirror is in charge of them.
They've scored 14 goals, conceded 28 in 16 games, so they're not even scoring a goal per game. They're not scoring a goal per game.
I actually think we'll beat them on Wednesday.
We absolutely should, but there's absolutely no doubt we should. But will they park the bus?
Won't surprise me. It's not... Darren Moyes, he did pretty good at Wednesday, but it's just for some reason it seems like it's not working out at Huddersfield, is it? I don't know what it is.
I think we've got 2 different stories here, aren't we? Plymouth game. The Plymouth game is obviously coming up first, and we'll see how that pans out. I think how we react against Plymouth will determine our confidence level going in against Huddersfield. If we're going in super confident against Huddersfield, I think the Huddersfield game's at the Stadium of Light as well, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should be controlling that, even if it is in a midweek. It's ours to lose rather than theirs to win, if that makes sense.
See, I was actually listening to what Mowbray was going to do as well, because Mowbray said I think he's going to actually possibly change up some of the squad.
Okay.
Because some of the media asked Mowbray about Bradley Dack.
Okay.
About the fitness he's got at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mowbray said the fitness that Dack is actually on at the moment, it's actually near to what he was actually like at Blackburn.
Okay, so he's getting to... Is his legs like running out of energy? Ted 6-0 Sunderland. I think that... do you think Bradley Dack would be a better choice than Bellingham? Because that's who he'd be replacing, though, mate. Does Bradley Dack impact this current squad? Also added, will O'Sheesh start one of those games? I hope so, actually. He's deserved it. He's come on, he's scored, he's got his debut, he's becoming the new Ekwar.
I think we'll see Ashish, and I actually think we'll probably get to see Meander as well.
Oh, we can talk about it now. You brought it up. Strikers scoring. We've managed to avoid it for 48 minutes into this into this goal.
This referee's in a Leeds shirt, by the way.
Yeah. You mean a Rotherham shirt or a Leeds shirt?
No, he's in a Leeds shirt.
Why?
He's given every decision is for Leeds.
Oh yeah, okay.
Every decision.
Maybe he realised that offside goal was not offside, and he's trying to balance it out. And anyways, back to the strikers. If you're saying Meander's going to start, who's he taking off for him?
Oh,
Rushan's the easiest answer because obviously it's striker for striker, but I don't think Rushan deserves to come off the pitch yet. He's only had 2 starts, and he's hit the bar 3 times. All he needs is just like a tiny bit more finesse, and he's getting it in the back of the net.
I think Mason, replacing with Mason.
Burstow hasn't started for 4 games. So
Good,
or maybe
garbage.
Emir.
I genuinely think we just should change our formation to 4-4-2.
Yep, I've been saying this for a while.
Classics
Really
work.
easy question.
No, no, he won't. He'll stick to the 4-2-3-1. That's how we like to work, because Clark and Roberts on either wing are controlling the game. Now, are they controlling the game at the detriment to the success of our strikers? That is
Full-time 1-1, by the way.
great point for Rotherham. Great point. I know they're still in the bottom three, but that is huge. They're climbing closer to Huddersfield. Yeah, that's a huge boost for them, I think. Sorry. Cabby, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. So Paul said about Mienda starting. Who would you swap it round for? Who would you swap him off for? So who needs to leave the current starting squad for him to come on?
What position's Mienda again?
He's an out-and-out striker.
I'd leave Russian on.
Mm-hmm. And I think he deserves to be on.
But he's dangerous. He's off the ball running. He's dangerous. He doesn't stop. Can you see me all right, yeah?
Yeah. I'm just letting you continue with your point.
Well, Burstow's he didn't play last, did he? He was in the subs.
Mm-hmm.
I would bring Bellingham off and put Mienda on, give him a bit of a breather.
That is a point that Jacob brought up about Bellingham getting out of the England squad. Sorry, we talked about England for so long because of fitness. So that's not a bad shout, Cabby.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Wouldn't do him any harm.
Jim says Tony Mowbray won't start Mienda. He might give him more minutes though towards the end of the game against tired legs. So I don't know. Like for me, it's striking a balance, and I think we've got the balance okay at the minute. We're picking up wins. We're losing a couple of sloppy games here and there, and we always will. You're never going to have the perfect record unless you're Arsenal in 2004. But it's making the losses as minimal as possible. So 4-2-3-1 is a good, consistent balance for us. We're picking up about 1.8 points per game, which has put us into the top 6. So what's the next step up for us? And I think there is a next step up for us. 4-4-2 for me. It removes the burden on our CDMs. We are heavily reliant on 2 CDMs, the Ekwar and Dan Neil. If they're not fit, we struggle. So we move them there. We keep our 2 wingers, the 2 in the middle part in that second 4 is Clark and Roberts, or swap out Roberts for Sheesh, and then you can have the Mienda and Rushan starting. You can also then have. You could either have Neil and Ekwar or Neil and Bellingham. You could have a lot more competition for that central part of the team. But I think we've kind of built ourselves systematically in that 4-2-3-1. Jacob, for Mienda to start, who are you taking off?
So Mienda to start, and who would it take off?
Mm-hmm. Jim says Jude has had 2. I think he means Job. Job has had 2 weeks rest, so he will start. Like, he hasn't played the international game, so that's good. And he thinks Sheesh will start in the midweek.
So start and take off. Is this like any position?
Any position. Like if obviously if it's a like for like, it's Rushan off and Mienda on, but. Like
Pembele still injured, or is he still?
I genuinely do not know what Timothy Pembele's squad number is. Not a clue.
To be honest, I was reading Phil Smith, I think, from the Sun Deco said Pembele is actually close to fitness. Actually, he's getting there.
He might be, but what's his squad number? I haven't seen a Pembele shirt, and like, is he number 25? Like, what? I don't think it matters that much, but it's like,
We probably just won't find out until he plays a game, man.
I don't know, but why? He's in the squad. He should get a starting shirt, or are they just trying to like save it to January so they can sell him on? It's really weird. Really weird. I went
His shirt hiding somewhere.
Fair enough. Jacob, did you decide? You were very conflicted.
It's very hard, isn't it? So it's really difficult. I might have to start. I don't know. I feel like, would you give Burstow another chance? I know he's not had many games, but maybe give Burstow another chance.
So,
and maybe 2 strikers up at top. Not a 4-4-2. What was the other one? Is it 5-3-2?
So I wouldn't ever have Sunderland with 5 defenders, because it literally stacks you for our counter-attacking style of play. So I would go 3-5-2, especially with how many midfielders we have. So it puts a bank of 3, and then 2 wingers to bob up and down. That 3-5-2 works better.
Yeah, I'd probably I'd go for that. So I'd start Mienda and Burstow in the middle. Not middle, striking.
Okay.
Probably midfield, probably multiple in it. So you could have Dan Neil and Bellingham. Winging area sort of place. You could have maybe Dak and... Oh, I really don't know now.
Because Dak and Pritchard, to me, are the same player. They do the exact same role. Alt's just confirmed, by the way. Pembele is number 29. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, wingers, you could just have...
And Jim, thank you.
Maybe Pritchard on one side over Dak. Should they go defence?
What with that? Can I reiterate? You want our wingers to be Dak and Pritchard rather than Clark, Roberts, or Sheesh, or you prefer Pritchard and Dak on the wings?
You're right. Yeah.
Go for Clark. You got to go for pace down the wings, haven't you? Surely.
Yeah. So yeah, Clark. That's what I'd say for wingers.
Yeah.
Defensively, is Sirkin fit now? I thought he was injured.
He was fit, and then he was injured just before the game, which is why Triantis got the start. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Sirkin will be out for a few weeks.
He's back at Christmas. Lovely.
Christmas.
Defensively, probably Triantis and Seal. Maybe just go for that. And of course, Patterson in goal.
Fair enough. I think, like Alt says, this is all new. I don't remember us having the problem of lots of good players to choose from. Like we used to have, when we were in the Premier League, a starting 11 and a 2 or 3 fringe players that could come into the squad. Since we got relegated again, we've rebuilt to a stage that we had a starting 11, but the fringe players were like Jack Diamond, or like they were just that fringe that they were better served at another club, if that makes sense. I think our goalkeeping situation is exactly still that situation. We have Anthony Patterson, he's our number 1 keeper. Bishop, who's come from Manchester United, isn't getting the look in. Not sure why we've got him when we've just signed an academy goalkeeper. So goalkeeper wise, we're set. We're okay. We're okay with Patterson unless he gets injured. I can't see. Basically, Bishop's a new Bass, right? Sorry?
St. Bass is still on our books. Fair enough, he's out on loan, but he's still on our books at the moment.
Outside of the cup games, has he actually started for us, Bishop or Bass? I don't think they have.
No, I don't think they have, actually.
I don't know if it's a wasted wage, but it's there. the point being, we have a good strength in our current depth, which is a nice problem to have. We have enough options to vary it up. Is Tony Mowbray going to vary it up to the point where we as fans are going, this would work really well against this opponent? And for me, that is where, and I'm going to bring in a name that you're not going to like, Alex Neil did a good job. He varied the team based on the opponent we came up against, whereas Tony Mowbray, doing a much better job than Alex Neil ever would in the Championship, has a fixed regimental style that the club and the team are on board with. So we can complain as much as we like, but if he's bringing us points, that's all that we really, really care about. At the end of the day, if we win tomorrow, and the goal comes from Anthony Patterson scoring a header or Meander starting, like, we don't care as long as the goal goes in the back of the net and somebody with this badge on their shirt is scoring it, right? In the right goal.
Is Meander the lad from Benfica?
Sorry?
Is he from Benfica, Meander?
No. So Hamia's from Benfica.
He's from Benfica.
I think... So... Pembele is from PSG and Meander's from Lorient, French teams. I can't. It's been a couple of months since I've saw the summer transfers, so these are the badges I remember.
Slept since then.
A couple of times.
I was going to say the other player that won't be available tomorrow is Jewison Bennett.
Jewison Bennett's been out of the choice for a couple of weeks, a couple of months actually. I can't remember a game he's been number one choice for this season. And I know he did the 3 pirouettes for that that Chris Rigg goal, but beyond that, I haven't really seen or heard much from him this season. So does Bennett being injured or being out for a couple of weeks actually impact us that much? Probably not.
Not really. Mowbray doesn't know when Chris Rigg will be back on Wayside after England actually lost.
Yeah, I mean, they needed a bit of a debrief on that, but like I said, I'm okay with how we're performing. We do just need to look forward to this game tomorrow. We've gone over an hour, by the way. The conversation has just been that enthralling. We will be back doing another podcast post the Plymouth and Huddersfield games this time next week. We'll do the watch along tomorrow. What's your plans for the game tomorrow? I know, Paul, you're going to watch it somewhere?
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch it with Bowers, actually, so it'll be interesting to actually get his reaction.
There you go. Meanders from Sochaux, FC Sochaux. He's a Spanish under-18 international. Thank you for confirming, Ald. David, what are you doing?
Hello?
What are you doing?
Over the weekend?
Yes.
My dad is coming down to watch the Liverpool City game tomorrow, so that will be fun. That's about it.
my greatest condolences for you. No problem. Cabby,
that's right.
Cabby, what are you up to, mate?
Yeah, I'll be doing the stream and watch along. I'll be joining you on audio as well. So it's a normal 3 o'clock kickoff, which is a rarity, it seems, at the minute. So looking forward to getting back to a bit of normality with Sunderland and no Sky interrupting.
Does that actually happen? Sunderland can be normal? Good joke there, mate. Jacob, are you joining us on the watch along?
Yeah.
Perfect. I've got that all ironed out. And on that note, I can beat that. I'm going to a 5-year-old's birthday party. Alt, that sounds fun. Enjoy your... Is it what's the name of the caterpillar cake? Is it Colin? Keith? Colin.
Which one? There's different ones.
Enjoy your...
There's one from Aldi, there's one from Sainsbury's, and there's one from Tesco, and there's one from
There's
Asda.
Colin, Connie, Albert. There's another one. I can't remember the name.
Either way, enjoy your caterpillar cake. Well, I'll just not name it. Oh, we can name it Tony Mowbray cake because he'll have one at his pre-match conference.
Yeah. He would.
Yeah, well, it's chocolate, mate. Of course he will.
Did you see
And
Nick
Jaffa
Barnes?
cakes.
Did you see Nick Barnes handing Tony Mowbray for his birthday a big bar of Toblerone?
Oh, right. Did he say what's the point?
On the press conference, it was on BBC Look North before. Massive, huge bar of Toblerone.
Oh.
The thing is, Mowbray actually told Nick Barnes that he doesn't
Wait.
want it.
Is Jim a Liverpool supporter?
I don't know. Jim, confirm in the chat, mate. Great show. Thank you all. I want to end it. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow or next
Thank
week.
you. Good night.
Yeah, lads.
Oh.